Hello guys, good day. My name is Mario Christine K. Ignition Signature. In today's video, I want to talk about what I learned in church and how it has really blessed me. So I would like to share with you what I learned in church. This is my life, very simple life, and I admit I'm a starter for my business, and God, God has been showing me mercy. So I would love to share with you what I have been experiencing in my locks business. And today, when I went to church, everything was dished out, and now I understood better why my business is going the way it's going. I want to thank God for that, and for the love I have for my viewers. I also love to share with them, so they, they too can also benefit from what I learned from church. So I'm not really going to say everything, but I'm going to say those key parts that I feel is really applicable to my business, and I would love to do it and to encourage you to watch and get blessed. So let's get started. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure that I'm on track and we are meeting the right thing. So today I went to Dunamis International Church and the headquarters, which is called Dome. Yeah, and I learned something, and I have it in my jotter here, so I want to share with you and apply it in terms of locks. So, Daddy Pastor Paul in nature was talking about um, why you're not successful in business, and he said that um, some people would go into business that they don't know how to do, or some people practice skills they really do not know how to do. And he now stretch out some points of how you are going to be successful in life. And with that point he mentioned, I want to use that point and apply them to my Lux journey and to your Lux journey as well, so that you can see if you are actually guilty of these same things or not. And he said one of it is that he made an emphasis that an example that he went to a particular sport to get something, and someone was advertising drugs to him, like one supplement, and he asked the person, okay, this supplement you are advertising, is it actually good? He said yes. He asked the person, what does the supplement do? The person cannot defend the supplement. He asked the person, have you used it before? The person said no, he hasn't used it before. So he has to walk away, because you can't be selling drugs to someone that you have not used it and you don't know the side effects, you don't know the benefits. So when I sat down, I started looking at this, and I applied this to all of my business, my daily experience, and this is what I came up with. I want to use one of his points. He said, for you to sell very well, for you to have more clients, you have to be knowledgeable. You have to be knowledgeable, and out of those being knowledgeable, he fished out some points. How do you get knowledgeable in the skills you are practicing? So now let's go into the locks practice. How do you get knowledgeable? Because he cited an example that the first thing is how to get knowledgeable You have to get educated. You have to get educated. Now, in the line of locticians today, so many just saw the normal hook, the normal paycheck hook, and they just feel like, okay, let's just use it and start locking people's hair. And before you know, they start learning in the job, and that alone is enough to disqualify them. And they don't have a mentor. So you are following those kind of people, you end up having what you order versus what you got. So if you really want to scale in your business, if you really want to scale in your locks journey, you have to get knowledgeable. And one is you have to get educated. And how do you get educated? You get educated by attending online classes, by going for personal training. If there are new things that are trending and you don't really have the knowledge about it, it's not a crime for you to go and learn from the best. Anyone that knows something better than you, definitely you should submit to learn that thing. If you learn it within this short time, you become the master of it, and it's no more your mountain. So he said, one, you should get knowledgeable, and two, he said you should get mentoring and role modeling impact. Now he also called the Bible verse, which is Acts chapter 4 and verse 13. Now, as a loctician, you want to scale your business. You know, before you build a house, you should have an architectural structure of the house, right? Now, when you're a loctician and you are planning to grow big, you must have the structural impact of how you want to become, how you want to operate. If you don't have, you'll be operating blindly. And this happened to me when I started my locks journey newly. When I started my locks journey newly, um, I really do not have a role model. So sometimes I make decisions and come back again and start making corrections. So because of that, I really suffered a lot of setback. But later I told myself that okay, I need to get a mentor. And the first person I made my mentor was P. Styles. P. Styles, that's his name. P. Styles is in Germany, and that was where I saw how to do palm rolling first. That was where I knew that there was something they called palm rolling. So if you're a loctician and you don't have a mentor, then you are just operating blindly. Your journey is very short. You really need to look for someone that is ahead of you and try to follow up. So that's the second point he made. Now the third point that he made, he said, you should learn on the job. Now you can see these things flow gradually. He said first you should get educated, second you should have a mentor, and third you should learn in the job. Now, how do you learn in the job when you don't have a mentor and you didn't go to get educated? So if you see online classes going on like this, especially for your locks class, don't neglect it. It's either you know better or you know less. But sometimes when you tend to listen for just few minutes, you must get something. It's either you get something that is there's a wrong principle you'll be applying, or there's the right principle you'll be applying, or there is an idea that you've been looking for that you can't get. But because of this now, you get it. You get it. So please get educated. Sometimes I feel I always search to see okay, who is actually a role model higher than a pre-styles that I can go for, because I am almost learning everything about pre-style and I like everything about it and I'm following his footsteps. But I also need more role models. At least if you set maybe a distance, maybe 10 kilometer, and you're already walking towards 9 kilometer. As a business person, you should start giving a new target of your journey. That okay, you want to go 15 kilometer, you want to go 20 kilometer. That is how you grow. You don't say no, I want to like get to 10 kilometer before I start planning 15 kilometers. So please, if you are desperate to grow and want to be big, you must have a mentor. You must get educated. And when you have a mentor and you get educated, while you are practicing what they are teaching you online, you learn in the job. Did I make myself clear, or is that well understood? So this is what I learned in church, and I'm applying it to my daily practice so you can see and understand. Then the second point that he made, he said, benefit of being knowledgeable. Now this is actually preached in a Christ way for businesses, and now I'm preaching it in a Christ way for locticians. This word actually blessed me, and I'm trying to also bless my audience with it. So if you are just coming, I really appreciate you for joining us. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you for staying in touch. This is a family we grow together for teaching. So if you give me a moment, let me see if I am actually flowing with you guys. My system is giving me an issue. So, back, I'm restarting the system. So let's go. Now he said he spoke about benefit of being knowledgeable. So there are benefits of being knowledgeable as a loctician. One of it is that your worth and value increases. That's what Papa said in the preaching today. That is Papa Pastor Paul Eneche, the founder of Dunamis International Church. So he said your worth and value increases. So you see, there's nothing that gives you more confidence like when you have a knowledge about what you are doing. When you are confronted anytime, any moment, you defend what you are doing. That is why I love mathematics, because everything has provings. And if you can prove what you are doing, then your worth increases. That's why you see some locticians are charging lesser than some locticians. It's because of worth. And that worth is being determined by level of knowledge. That's why you can see a child can be a head of a company, why an old man can be the gate man. Why? Because the child spends his time going to what? Get educated, following a mentor, and learning in the job. So he said, the first benefit is that what? It increases your worth and value. Second point, he said what? Opportunities are assessed by knowledge. Now, he said, when you are knowledgeable about what you're doing, other opportunities open for you. Now, this he made emphasis on this same idea I told you of a child being the boss in a company. Why a man going to be a gate man? Why? Because of knowledge. You know, the child went through his tertiary, his higher institution, and his master's, his PhD, and now he's out. And they are giving him positions based on his level of knowledge. I saw a post before I came online of a man asking his audience that why are you not paid in dollar? Why have you not started making millions of dollars? And she said the company she works doesn't pay her in millions of dollars. And this is what he said to her. He said that it's not that your company does not pay in millions of dollars. It's that your company cannot pay you millions of dollars. And which is true. Why? Because she is not knowledgeable about what she is doing. That is why our worth has not increased. And if our worth increased, definitely she is going to be paid higher and she is going to be rated higher. So being knowledgeable about what you're doing increases opportunity, more opportunity. Like, I won't lie to you, when I started doing the locks, this thing, my knowledge then, when I started, and my knowledge now, like I tend to get more sensitive jobs now than then, and my client pay higher because I'm knowledgeable about what I'm doing, and I always research, I always read to be sure that okay, I'm not dishing out the wrong motive. So that is the second point. Now the third point he made, he said, okay, there's a key point he stated. He said what? He said to be knowledgeable is to be marketable. I will not emphasize more on that. I will just say it out again and move to the next point. He say, to be knowledgeable is to be marketable. That point is self-taught, clear. So the next point he says that what? He says losses and wastage are minimized. Now, as a loctician, your own case, um, when you lock a client's hair and the client is not happy about the hair, you think, okay, I'm not made lost because I've actually collected my money and the person has left. Now, let me tell you, that's the primary reason why you attend to somebody today and the person cannot confidently come back tomorrow, or the person cannot refer your service to the next person. So, when you are not knowledgeable about what you are doing, you are going to waste a lot, because number one, you might be running ads, you might be running adverts, online campaigns to get clients, and when they come, you attend to them and they are not happy. You don't see them come back, you don't see them return. That is also wastage. That is also what we call wastage. So please try as much as possible not to minimize wastage by what? Getting knowledgeable about what you are learning, what you are teaching rather. Get knowledgeable about what you are teaching or what you are doing as a business or as a skill. It's very, 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 very important. What's going on my system? And I think I have put a lot of pressure on the system today. Please get knowledgeable about what you're doing. It's very important. Sorry, I will not allow the system to distract me. Let me go straight to my classes. So, and the next point says what? Be excellent. Be excellent. Now, when you're excellent, people look for you. He made emphasis on. Papa made emphasis on the story of um, the man that interpreted the king's dream, which is Joseph. He about uh, the 7 days of harvest, 7 years of bountiful harvest, and the 7 years of scarcity. So, because of his excellence, he actually was very, very important. Because at that point, let me see the Bible verse again. At that point, I didn't get the Bible verse, but he made an emphasis that because of his excellence, that's why King placed him in the position that he placed him. So when you are doing a particular job, be excellent about what you are doing. Be excellent. Just be excellent about what you're doing. Then the next point now he said is that what is excellence? He defined excellence, and he said, what is excellence? We say here, he said, quality of being outstanding and extremely good. So how can you be extremely good? How can you be outstanding if you don't attend classes, if you don't listen to others, if you don't make research, if you don't have a mentor? How can you be excellent? So for you to be outstanding, you really need to go through these 3 stages, which is what? Get educated and practice mentorship. Find a mentor and imitate them and learn in the job. You might have a mentor and you're not learning in the job. But if you have this first 2 stages, which is getting educated and having a mentor, then the 3rd stage cannot be overlooked. Then the second definition I gave was, you say, it's an aversion from average to addiction to quality. Is aversion from average and addiction to quality. Now, when you are confident about what you're doing, you will not be scared of investing in what you are doing. Let me take for instance, if you are so sure that okay, this business is going to yield profit, definitely when you're investing, nobody needs to tell you okay, you need to invest into this business. So when you're not knowledgeable about the skills you are giving as a loctician, you will not have the insight or the zeal to want to invest in the business. These locks were commonizing. I came from the environment that made locks look like it's a hand to mouth business, not until I changed my environment. And when I changed my environment, I really discovered that locks is a lucrative job with the lowest capital in the whole world. You can have the lowest capital to start locks business and you will earn in millions. All you need to do is get educated before you dive in. So this has been my drive. That's why I love to teach. And when I teach it, I get to understand more and it makes me want to read more about locks. You can also be the best while you are doing that. You can be the best. I'm not the best yet, but I'm trying my best to dish out what I have to others because while I teach, I also learn in the job. Then he also gave another definition. He said, holding nothing back and leaving no stones unturned in the delivery of the word, past assignment. So when you are excellent, you don't leave any stone unturned. That's when somebody will come to you and ask you, why is my locks breaking? And because of your confidence, you know what to say to them. Do you know? Do you know people actually pay you as a loctician? They pay you not because of the service you render, but because of the confidence you exhibit. That is why people pay you. My colleagues say, charge your worth. Charge your worth. That is, you charge a client your worth. Somebody will come to you and say, okay, this thing is not just this amount. But once they know that yes, they are paying for your experience, definitely they will rate you high. So you don't go and overprice somebody and you are not working, you are not improving your knowledge, you're not improving your skills, and you're not learning in the job. So please try to get educated as a loctician, try to find a mentor to follow up. Then the next point that he emphasized on outcome of excellence. How outcome of excellence. He said God rewards excellence, which is true. God rewards excellence. And the second outcome of excellence is excellence dismantle prejudice. You can see that excellence dismantle prejudice. And the third one is a excellence brings openings. Excellence brings openings. You can just be in your door, in your house, and somebody's already talking about you in another country. Somebody's already referring you in another country. Do you know that when you do a good job, people will easily advertise you, even without paying them? And that's the fastest way one can grow. You can just be here and they'll just put a call through that, hey, I saw your job in Canada and I want you to come over to do my hair. For someone to bring you to another country to do their hair is not a big deal. It's just that you've not met the right audience. And for you to meet those right audience, you need to prepare yourself by what? Getting educated and getting a mentor. So once you get those qualities that that person needs and you start exhibiting it in your skills, definitely you will see different results. You will see unique results. Then the other outcome of excellence, he said excellence brings increase. You don't need a fairy tale, a soothsayer to tell you this. Excellence brings increase. If you are good with what you're doing, you will see people rushing you, clients are rushing you. So, locks, don't treat locks as like a daily routine, something you just do it. One bad side of me is that I hate to see when somebody is working on a client and his body posture is looking like he's already tired, or his body posture is looking like he doesn't really have vibes for what he's doing. It shows that you don't have insight. Anytime I'm locking somebody's ear or I'm maintaining somebody's ear, I always have that joy. I'm always eager to want to style the person's hair, to want to give the person the best, because the next comment that wants to come out from the person's mouth is my interest. I would love to see someone saying, wow, I love my hair is good, you are good. That alone is a satisfaction for me. That's why if there are times I make mistakes and a client is not happy, I even get more worried and more bothered than the client. Like the whole of that day, I will not be myself because I knew that I tried my best, but my best was not enough. That's why I keep on learning in the game. And those past mistakes I've made I've actually contributed to my success today. And today, I will really say anywhere I find myself in the country, I believe I will do better. Then he went and said something. How do you get favor from men? He said, you should love people, serve people, and place people's satisfaction ahead of your financial benefit. This was one of his teaching. I think it was one of the points that he was trying to prove about how you obtain favor. So, uh, to obtain favor, you need to learn, love people, serve people, and place people's satisfaction ahead of your financial benefit. Now, do you know if you are into locks business and you don't have the 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 how do I put it? You don't have that communication skills. Like you don't show love. You know when somebody is not lovable, it's obvious. See, the fact that you are good doesn't stop you from loving, because there are some people that they are good and they don't care about whatever you feel about them. Theirs is just to serve you and get their money, or their concern is to make money. Let me tell you the truth. He said he coined a point by is he I don't know if I got the name correctly, but he coined a point that Russell Noel Russell Noel okay, sorry, Russell Conwell, yes, Russell Conwell says that you can never be a poor man if you truly love your neighbor as yourself. You can never be a poor man if you love your neighbor as yourself, and which is also the love. And this point that he emphasized, I actually want to tell you that it works for business, especially for skillful people. Any skillful person that lacks love in his business will not last long. He will not scale higher. This is the point he was trying to prove. Love your client as yourself, which implies put their satisfaction first before your reward. When a client comes to you and they are complaining, your main focus at that point is how you are going to achieve that particular thing, how you should achieve that thing. And truly, he said, if you don't know how to achieve that and you feel you cannot achieve that thing, instead of causing more damage, refer the client to someone else that you are 100% certain that he can do that job perfectly, excellently. And with that, you have actually loved the person as yourself. And for a grateful person, definitely they will know that you are a sincere person and you really love them. That is why you didn't go for their money, you went for their satisfaction. Because if you put yourself in that person's shoe, the first thing you have to do is to get satisfaction, right? Before you want to pay. If somebody made you a hair that you don't like and you pay happily, no, you will enjoy the hair, and when you will enjoy the hair, you will tend to want to pay higher. That is how it works. Don't mind me. If there are ways I talk, maybe my voice are not really clear or something, maybe I'm having tongue time, I don't know. But pardon me, I'm still trying to do this online thing, this online teaching. I'm not familiar with it, but I believe I will improve because I'm working on it. So back to what we're saying. Love your neighbor as yourself. Put your client satisfaction first before your financial benefit. It's very, very important. Care for people, love people. Sometimes just identify needs and reach out to them. Sometimes you might be working on the client is choking or something. You can leave whatever thing you're doing and show them that yes, you care about them. If they are in need of something, they need to raise weight, or they come to your office with their bag and you have done making their hair and they are going back. It is of self-respect that you help them pick their bag, take them to the car, give them their bag, executive treatment. I tell you, that client will never forget you. In no way that client will forget you. That client will never forget you. I'm trying to see if. So he said, love your neighbor as yourself. Then it's cancel now. It's cancel for today's class after the whole teachings. So it's a cancel I would love to tell you now. So I will not bug you with much talk. He says, identify challenges and needs around you. That is loving your neighbor as yourself. You need to start learning how to identify challenges and needs like that are around you. Then you find the one you can solve and work on it. It's very, 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 very important. Find the one you can work on and work on it. And secondly, you say you should identify solutions to those needs. Now, when your client has a need, you need to identify solutions to those needs. They are very, very, very important. You need to, because when you help them solve that problem, people will love you. And when people love you, they can go to any extent for you. The third counsel is that you should genuinely seek to bring relief and help to people in need. That is also still talking about loving your neighbor as yourself. So what? Genuinely seek to bring relief and help people in need. Then the next counsel you say genuinely seek to bring satisfaction. The fifth one, he said, never allow money, reward, or gain to be your first consideration. The next point, he said, let people encounter with you. Leave them with memories of your sincerity or of your genuine interest in their growth and welfare. Do you see that point? He said, let people encounter with you. Leave them with memories of your sincere interest of their welfare and success, their genuine interest or what of their welfare and success. Now, when somebody knows that you really genuinely love them, it's not a fake thing, or you genuinely want to see them succeed, I tell you, they will do anything for you. They will do anything for you. You cannot be faking it and you are expecting. Well, God knows your heart. It's God that will bless you, not man blessing you. They say the heart of a king is in the hand of God. So if you are genuine what you're doing, the first person that sees your heart is God. And God uses men as vessel to bless. So definitely God will always bless you. Then the next point he says, don't just market service or goods. Market the love of God to your generation. Now, this is where I want us to take more serious. Now, I don't know if my audience will find this friendly, but I am doing it for the love of God. If you've been watching my videos and you have been a part of my family, please, I want you to go and watch this series, this particular message in Dunamis International Church. Try to watch the message and apply it to your locks business. And I want to use this video to tell you that God loves you, even though I'm not a Wednesday service person or everyday service person, but just a Sunday goer. My love for God is genuine and I can do anything for God. So I want to use this opportunity to tell you that what is your relationship with God? How firm is your relationship with God? Is God in your business? Have you invited God into your heart? Have you invited God into your family? If you have not, please try and reconcile with God. Try and come back to Him. You might be one of the lost sheep that God has been looking for, that the good shepherd has been looking for. Try and make your ways right with God. It's not every riches that is made It's fetish power. You can be rich in God's name. You can be rich in God's way. God loves you, and whatever that concerns you, God will perfect it in Jesus' name. Thank you for your time, and thank you for watching. Remain blessed.